Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Rob. Hope you all having a great day. Happy New Year to everybody. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you would please go ahead and type the number one in the questions box. Let me know that you can. I would greatly appreciate it. Happy New Year, Linda and Brenda and everybody else that's putting them in there, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Morning, Helen. Yep, and what a good year it is going to be. Happy New Year, Kevin. I know, Robert says, I haven't heard from me since last year. I know. I know, Rosemary. There you go, Judith. All right. Excellent. Well, I hope everybody's doing well. Market is behaving more of what's expected of it, more of that bullish move than that craziness we've seen happen the last couple of weeks. Seems like we took off and didn't do power hour for a couple of weeks, and things went crazy in the marketplace. It did lend itself to some great day trades along the way, and it's funny. I kind of had that theme yesterday when I did power hour. Power option plays. That you've got to have a two-pronged system, guys. Everything you do has got to allow you a way to trade things that are day trades when the market presents itself, when your normal trades don't work. So if you're normally a swing trader, a couple of days, couple of weeks, and the swing trading just isn't there because you're not getting a couple of days or a couple of weeks movement, you've got to be able to react. And in that transitional phase is when you'll get smacked, and everybody does, right? The market was going bullish, and now it's going sideways to bearish. Well, you don't know what's happening. That's when the things turn around, and any new trades you've entered, you get hit on. But you've got to be able to adapt to a day trade type model when the markets do shift along that way. So, swing and a miss, Robert. Yeah, you're right, Robert. Most people only have one birthday. I have two, my real birthday and the one that's listed on Facebook, which is January. When I went to church yesterday, we do a birthday Sunday. It's the first Sunday of the month. And a thing pops up on the screen that says, everybody whose birthday it is, come up to the front so we can sing you happy birthday. And people are telling me, come on, come up. It's like, yeah, it's not really my birthday. That's just Facebook. Even the bishop of our church, who's actually our patriarch, the equivalent of the Pope, wished me happy birthday on Facebook. He sent me a private message for it. But yep, I do not list my real birthday online. Last thing I need to do is give thieves an opportunity to figure out more about me. There you go. Born in 1907, William said. And it's funny, I made myself older with the date that I chose for the year than I am instead of younger. For no other reason than it's just an easy year to remember, is the only reason I did it. So, oh my goodness gracious. So what do we got, guys? Coming up, let's see, January 8th, mañana, tomorrow. Those of you that are in the power option plays, tomorrow we've got Mastering the Trade, 2-hour online workshop where we will go through all of your questions. We're reanalyzing our list of candidates. We're going to make some changes to that list of 20 that we normally trade, which our year finished up better than $1,300,000 for the year last year, guys. So I'm excited. $1.2 million is the goal, $100,000 a month. So I'm happy about it. We got Monster Market Movers coming up on January 16th. So that's next week, guys. So get back in the swing of that as we get going there next week. I will be doing a little bit of travel this week. I'm headed down to the D.C. area this week. So I'll spend a little bit of time there. And then I'm off for at least 4 weeks. I'm not traveling anywhere unless a situation comes up. I got to go down by Dad in Florida. But other than that, I will be home, which I'm excited about. We're back to the Power Hour workshops. I'm excited to finally get one under our belt again this year. We'll be doing E-mini Think Tank tonight, our Trader Talk. And, of course, we do Power Option Plays Tuesdays and Sundays. And there's a couple of on-demands. Here is the Follow Us page. Guys, there's a lot of names in here that I don't recognize. Welcome. For those of you that are here your very first time, here's the way for you to follow along with us, follow what we do, get involved with us through Instagram, through YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all that great stuff. Of course, the website. I keep saying we're going to add LinkedIn on here. I just need to sit down with Sean and get it done. He's back from vacation now, so we'll work on it. Probably not this week because I'm out of town on Wednesday, but next week we'll get LinkedIn as our next site that we start to rock. Yeah, Robert said, going to DC, am I going to see Trump about getting the budget passed? Here's a very interesting fact, Robert. I got a letter of from the IRS back in early December that said I had owed money. And if you disagree, send us a document that shows you why you disagree. So I send in a document. There's no way I owe the money. I send in a document, certified mail return receipt. I never got the return receipt, but I send so many of these things out for different entities. I don't pay attention to which one it is. I've got the certified mail paper that I sent it. Well, I get another letter in the mail Saturday that said, here's a penalty on top of that, and we're going to start issuing notices of foreclosure on properties or assets and things like that. I'm like, wait a second. But call this number and give them this code at the top of the IRS document, and they can tell them what's going on. I call up and it says, we're sorry, but all of our agents are unavailable until further notice. We're sorry for the inconvenience. So I call the advocate's office for taxpayers, and I got the same type of message. No one is here, and they report directly to Congress. They're not part of the IRS, but they're a consumer advocate group against the IRS if you're not getting what you need accomplished in there. And then I do the research, and the only people the IRS seem to have kept on are security people for protecting their assets and protecting the computer systems, and some of the people that are there to, issue penalties and things like that. So you won't let me fix what's broken, which I didn't break, you did, and you're going to penalize me for it and start attaching on my assets if I don't pay monies that, oh no, William, it's not fake. It's a real IRS letter. No. I'm calling the phone number on the top of the IRS letter. Oh no, it's good. It's just not fun. Yeah, everybody's in for a real treat. You're right, William. Now it's going to be interesting when everything transpires as far as taxes are actually filed for real, and how far along this shutdown we are. I don't know how much longer he's going to let it. The president is going to let it go without enabling the Security Act or whatever it was called, that he said we can just say it's a security concern to the U.S. and we can just take the money. And I'm not saying he should or should not, but this is causing havoc. I can imagine what's going on. I'm not looking forward to traveling to D.C. tomorrow, Wednesday, at all, with TSA and some of what they're going through. Not one bit, right? And this is where, those of you that do travel, this is where having Clear helps, which the program that gets you to the front of the TSA line. So even though the line is longer, it gets me bypassed everybody else that's waiting on a line. It's all a matter of if it's available in your airport or not is the big key. But not fun, some of what's happening there, guys. So if you're dealing with it, I understand. And I am sorry that you have to. I don't know if the Democrats are going to ask him for his tax returns or not, Brendan. Who knows, right? Global entry. Yeah, and this is like a global entry, Linda. But right now, global entry is it's a federal government program that you probably can't get access to. Since I don't really travel outside of the U.S. normally, it's not an issue for me. This is always done well with the Clear. It's just a matter of they're already calling for much longer lines at TSA. Right. Everybody else has to suffer the inconveniences. And again, I'm not saying the president's right. I'm not saying the Democrats are right. Okay. Actually, there are many Democrats that talk about how some of the Democrats are wrong, like this idiot new Democrat congresswoman or senator or whatever she is, screaming that they're going to impeach Trump and the cuss words that she was using about it. And some very long time officials stepping up there and just downplaying her, saying she's dead wrong. That's not us. We don't stand for that whatsoever. Yeah, you're right, Marcus. Good for Clear. That's exactly it. Cool. Well, guys, I hope you had a good end to your year. I hope you were able to capitalize on and take advantage of some of the moves that took place at the end of the year. On average, what are people looking for? Right? Let me go ahead and do this. Let's uncheck these. All right, let's get a little bigger picture there on Zoom. There we go. Let's save it. Okay, perfect. Right, so here you go. This right here, December 26th, right? So you could see all the way up to prior to Christmas, right? 1224, we had this massive pull down. 26, we had the move up. We hit the 382 in reverse. We had a good bounce. I didn't update today. Let's put an intraday update on there, right? But as of yesterday, we were bumping our head on that 21 EMA. Happy New Year, Pete. How are you? Bumping our head on that 21 EMA, right? Which is, there we go. So we pushed up through it here. And guys, we're heading for the magic number. I talked about this yesterday in depth on the power options plays of that 2584 level, that dark black line we're looking at there. That line is key, right? That level is key. It's a tremendous resistance area for us right now. There's all kinds of other stuff still happening. We've got this overall downtrend that was taking place, which is giving us a confluence in that area. You've got this entire range from the 2569 up to the 2604 level, right? And we're about there now. I mean, we're at 2560, we'll call it right now. We're looking at 2569 is the bottom of that rectangle. So right in that range, guys, we've got to keep our eyes on that area. Are we going to hold or not? If we can break through, awesome. But we're still, when it comes to moving averages, we're still in a bearish bias, or a neutral bias, I should say. The moving averages are not they're not in the right order for taking a bullish trade. Now, swing trades, be very cautious if you're trying to take something bullish. I'm not saying that there are not companies that go against the grain. And for someone that's more experienced, that's fine. But on average, guys, you follow the bias of what the S&P is telling us, and it is neutral. And but I'm going to miss this whole run. Yes, until it runs into a major resistance area and flops, or until the president tweets, or until some Democrat steps out and cusses the president again, or until a Republican does this. It doesn't matter. Until the Fed says something, guys, anything can take place, and we don't have a clear direction right now. We're in the middle. We're in a neutral bias as of today. That neutral bias says day trade. That means take as short a term trade as possible, get in, get out, front week options. You're in today, you're out today. There's no hold overnight. Would you have missed out a little bit if you had done that one day versus another on when you had a gap? Yes, you would. You'd miss out on it. But I would rather go to bed knowing that I'm in a place I want to be, meaning I don't have positions that are open right now overnight, and the market is kind of in a precarious spot. We don't have true direction yet. So be very, very, very cautious on taking that directional trade until you can get the market to do what you want to do. I mean, if we look right now, we are up 25 and jingle on the S&P. We're up 100. And I'm looking up here, guys, where my mouse is in the upper right-hand corner, right? We're up 166 on the Dow. So Roman said on Google, so Roman on Google, right? So we were taken out of Google already, Roman. On that move up, we got the entry on the wick back down. So somewhere down below that 1075 level, right? Probably right about that 1068, 69 level is about where we were taken out of that trade. Brenda said, directional trading has not been good for me last year. Exactly, Brenda. And that's the problem. When we say last year, I want to be careful. Directional trading did phenomenal for us last year. It's just a matter of, was it the right time? The direction was primarily down. When we look at this nice move that took place in September to the downside, actually, if you look at what happened up until July, let's go a little further back. So here's the whole year, right? We had great runs in there from March up until July. Phenomenal run, right? And we did extremely well directionally. Then you get this slop and chop as you go in that sideways direction, trying to figure out what to do. And then the drop steps in, right? And then we get all through the drop, and that sideways direction took place until August, end of August, beginning of September, right? And then we get the drop down. And that drop has been there until about beginning of November, and then we've been more of that sideways, which is where anything outside of a sideways, a non-directional trade, meaning I'm not taking a swing trade, anything outside of there has been hard to trade. Right. And Brendan said, I just didn't know how to trade it. Again, I get it, right? It is a tough marketplace, or has been a tough marketplace. The good thing is, for those of you that have been able to survive through this market, you could survive through anything, right? But it definitely has been challenging. Okay, so Roman said, that's exactly what I did. Good, Roman. So you got it. You know exactly what we're doing in Pop. And that's what Roman was referencing. We had a trade go off on Google. Where would you get out? And we're already taken out of the trade, is what I had said. And Roman said, I got out at the exact same place. So he did it exactly as we should based on the rules of what we do. Excuse me. Let's see. So guys, I've got a note here for myself to remind you guys, and I don't remember if I even said it here, since it's been so long since we did a pop class, or a power hour class, I mean. In what looks like February to March, somewhere in there, we're looking to hold a workshop in the New York office that goes through the criteria of what we do in power option plays. Soup to nuts. It's a full 1 day long workshop, 1 day long training on how to go through the differences of directional and the differences of swing trades, but all the nuances, all the scenarios that we can come up with that take place in there. So you'll have an exact series of rules of what to do. Obviously, with our New York office, that space is limited. We have received a bunch of emails already from students that have an interest in it. So if that is you, if you have an interest in attending that, send an email to support, and we will put you on the list. Right, Robert, there you go. Brenda's asking on the Trade Navigator updates. Amelia and I went through everything. We spent about 4 hours one day going through every filter, every criteria. We found a couple of things that need to be tweaked. We sent it into the guys in Genesis and asked them to fix it. And they said that we will be the first one on their list once they get back from their holiday schedule, which all their people take, 2 weeks off, and their programmers, I guess. And then they get started back up sometime in the beginning of the year, which I'm guessing is this week. So they have it, Brenda. We've gone through our end. We're just waiting for them to get it on their end then. As soon as we get it checked, then we'll confirm the changes they did, make sure they're what we need. Then we will get you guys the updates from there. And then if you guys see something in there that you think is off or something's missing, you let us know, and we'll get them working on it again. But we'll get that first version out as soon as they get it to us. It's an easy switch for us. Once we check it, it's an easy switch for them. Once we check it, Genesis will just tell us what the download code is. You guys will be enabled for it. And then when you do your download, we'll give you a special download file name. So when you go to the phone, you would click download special file, put in the name there of what we give you, and that will upload those files for you. By the way, where it says upgrade in there, every one of you should do this once a month and do the upgrade. So do your regular update instead of clicking on end of day updating. Go download special file. I don't know why that just came in there, but download special file, and it will download the newest ones for you. Good, Brenda. That's good. Yep, do them every month. Set it on your calendar. And if you're not enabled for something, it just won't show up in your system. So that's all that is. Genesis, Marcus, is the company that owns the Trade Navigator platform. It's their platform that we use. So they're the programmers behind it, the brains behind it. We're the brawn. They know how to program it. We know how to use it. So, Karen, two things. When it comes to that download, I mentioned two things. Every month, click on download special file. It says upgrade in there. Just let that happen. Click start, and it will upgrade any new features of the program. Once we have the the updates done on the Genesis side, they will give us a code which we will send to you guys and tell you to upgrade. And once we do, you will have a code. We don't have it yet. They'll set that code up for us once it's all said and done. There you go. Judith said, "You are the brawn and I am the beauty." There you go. You're right, my dear. Absolutely. Absolutely. So just as an FYI, I am trying. I'm not there yet. I'm trying to see if I can get time in Chicago for the month of February. If I do, we will be doing our next whistle stop there. I'm just waiting for scheduling and seeing if I can get there. There's 2 or 3 things going on in life right now that could prevent me from it, but my goal is to get there as if at all possible for Chicago. Okay, Judith. Does that mean you're having a party for us that weekend, Judith? Is that what it is? Or yeah, I know, Trip. Chicago, in February, really, I get it. Okay. I truly do. All right, Judith. Hey, if you're having a party, I'll definitely be there if we're there that weekend for sure. Okay. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and do a quick analysis of the S&P. All right. What was that? Okay. Even TradeStation is doing marketing through their pop-ups on their system. It was, join us for our 5 days something. Darlo, I'm not quite sure I'm making it to Omaha anytime soon. Yeah, it's just as cold as Chicago. I get it. I've done the Chicago deal in January and been stuck there for 5 days because it snowed in New York. Oh, I know it's cheaper there, Darlo, for sure. I definitely know that. Oh, goodness. Okay. So let's look at S&P 500. Guys, a little bit busy. You can kind of back it up just a little bit more. It's a little bit busy with what's going on. Actually, I'm going to get rid of these downtrend lines that are in there. That should help things just a little bit. So we've got a new Fibonacci that we drew in there from this top, that doji top in there, that exhaustion gap is what it was, right? First gap, second gap, exhaustion gap, failure, right? So we got this nice fib in there. We're pushing up near that 50 percentile, which is inside of that zone that we talked about back in here, right? The 2584 level right here, all the way up to 2604 level. We're pushing up there now. The question is, can or will we even be able to get ourselves through there? If we do, I'd feel a lot more excited about bullish in the market. It'd be aggressive for me at this point with the rules we use in power options plays to take advantage of it. But there are still trades, bullish trades that can be done. You just have to be willing to pull the trigger if you're wrong and it goes against you, right? Even when we look at our, here we are on S&P 500, right? So if we look at the ADX, it's at 29. Good. It needs to be above 25 to take a bullish trade. The DMI plus or minus, whichever one is higher, that's the direction you take the trades. You see what's happening here? The DMI minus is coming down. The DMI plus is kind of sideways to up, but we don't really have a clear direction on DMI telling us take bullish versus bearish. Right now, based on pure numbers, we're still at a bearish level. So nothing is saying, ooh, jump off the page and go bullish. Not yet. Once again, that doesn't mean we don't find some good gems of bullish trades in the marketplace. If we do push up to that 2573, 2584, 2600 level and fail, look for the 21 moving average, which is the green line. Look for the 2519, the 2500-ish level, all inside of there. So between that 2519 and 2500, we've got the 8, the 2500, and the fib line all aligned inside of there. When we finally get our failure, we'll be able to do an ABC, right? If we had the failure right now, let's say this was our top and it fell down from here. we would go A, B, C, and we would have our other fib lines to help us understand where the next targets actually are. We're not there yet. So the lines I just drew have no value whatsoever. We can take them right back off. But once we get our failure, our V top in there, then we'll be at a point we can do that. So Brenda, ADX above 25 is not bullish or bearish, actually. ADX above 25 says, hey, you want to have the ADX above 25 to be a directional trader. Right? And in order to take a trade, the stock would be considered flat, dead, choppy, whatever you want to call it, if the ADX is below 25. Now, most of the books will tell you 20, right? There are, one of the guys that I learned ADX from, 25 is the number that he uses. Okay. The DMI plus and minus tell me whether or not we should take the trade bullish or bearish. Right, Roman, if we hit the 2584 and we fail, that's the 50 percentile. We have a bearish H. Exactly. Exactly right. Roman, you're hitting it on all 10 cylinders, baby. Brandon, does that make sense on the ADX? 25 just says, okay, there's enough momentum to take a directional trade. Well, the H, right? The H pattern itself, if you look at an H, right? Very normal H, lowercase h would look like that, right? The H we're looking at would look more like that. So, Brendan, here's the rules. Rule number one, ADX above 25. That just says I can take a directional trade. Below 25, do neutral strategies, don't trade directional. So that's number one, ADX above 25. Whatever DMI is higher, you go in that direction, but it has to also be higher than 25. So if the DMI plus is 2135 and the DMI minus was 20 even, nobody is in enough of a territory to take a directional trade. Let's see. So, Brennan, does that make sense? Actually, let me ask this, guys. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Does that make sense? Marcus, rule 1, ADX above 25. Rule 2, one of the DMIs have to be above 25. If they're both above 25, you take the higher one. If they're both below 25, there's no trade to be taken. You have to have the ADX above 25. You have to have the DMI above 25. Whichever DMI is higher, that's the direction we trade. Plus is bullish, minus is bearish. All right. So, Marcus, does that make sense? What am I looking for here? Let's clear that out. I don't even remember where the buttons are to click on go to webinar anymore. It's like it's so long since I've used it. It is so long since I've used it. It's been weeks. All right, good, Marcus. Glad you got it. Okay, excellent, excellent, excellent. You're quite welcome. What's that, Helen? Okay, got it. Perfect. Yep, didn't get the acronym there, but glad you were able to clear it up for me. Okay, so guys, right now we don't have good details on the S&P yet. We're not there. This is a day trading model right now. The SPY has been a phenomenal day trade today. Phenomenal day trade today, right? Is it still working right now? Well, we're in lunchtime. Here we are. It is 12:30. Right? Here's 12 o'clock, and look what happened. 12 o'clock, we went sideways ever since. Ever since that plateau there, we've gone sideways. But when you look at where the S&P opened up, 252.5, and we're at 255.5. It's been a great day trade. There you go, William. So Pete, the day trade component is much better for the options, I believe, than it is for the stock, just based on cost. Just purely based on cost, it is a better setup to do it with an options trade, right? So this is one of the things, guys, you're going to probably start seeing more and more on the trade alerts coming out on the SPY, right? Great, Peter. I'm glad you got it. Because, guys, I think too many traders are chasing around after a lot of different stocks. And I think if we could just feed you a couple of things on the SPY and get you placing a couple of trades, low cost trades. Because, folks, if you look right now on SPY, if you find an option that's got a 65 delta or higher for the front week, right? Here we are, open interest greater than 100. We're looking at a 68 delta. We're looking at $1.13, right? 69 delta. Very, very, very low cost, right? When it comes to what you'll pay for an option, right? You want to go a little deeper in the money. I mean, heck, for $2, you're at an 85 delta if you want, right? We can keep it fairly inexpensive. Well, William, on Friday, we had a phenomenal move on the SPY. Yeah, let me do a full day, right? We had a phenomenal move on the SPY, right? Good pull up, good move up, right? We get into that 10:30, that first hour, right? I moved that line. Didn't really want to do that, but it's okay, right? And then we had a nice run, and then, it's Friday, right? So what happened? About 1 o'clock, 1:15, we went sideways the rest of the day. But earlier on is where the more activity takes place, earlier in the day. Oh, you mean you're saying it was more expensive? What? More expensive on Friday for the front week? The option chain I showed. All right, I'm kind of catching it. Right, because this is a daily option, so it expires today. Exactly. If you look at the weekly option that expires this Friday, which is the 11th, right? We find again that 65 delta, you're looking at $4.21. Okay? Plenty of open interest though on the front day, on the daily option. 73, we've got 2,000 contracts open. Right? And the volume on it today of 10,000 contracts. Right? So this is the option. I just changed this symbol over to the option, the SPY, call option here. And you could see that on today's open, it was about 46 cents, and right now it's $1.30. So for trade alerts, do I day trade options if available? All the time, William. All the time. If we're looking at anything that's a possible day trade, and that's something that I need to get a little better at, is making sure that we identify them as day trade and swing trade. We're limited to the 140 characters in there, so we're trying to abbreviate and capitalize on as much as possible in the space that we send it out in. And if we can, we're just trying to figure out a better short code system for it that everybody will understand. So leads, the volume on an option, I'm not necessarily looking for volume on the option to trade it, The open interest says it's okay to trade. My point on volume was that it's not like people aren't trading it. You got somewhere between that. I mean, if you look at that 61 delta right now, you got 24,000 people traded it today. You look at the 80 delta, almost 40,000 contracts have traded today. That's all I look at. The volume is just for that. Or is there activity going in on it or not? Right? And the one we're talking about had the lowest volume on it right now. And that's because the one that's at an 80 delta was at a much lower delta this morning when we were sitting at the open of the day. That's why all the volume took place on this contract right here. Was for that exact purpose. Yes, Darlo. So on the options on SPY, they have, you could see, if I close it up, it'll make it a little bit easier. Options expire today. Options expire Wednesday. Options expire Friday, right? 0 days, 2 days, 4 days, 7 days, right? When is 7 days? That is the 14th, which is Monday, right? And then the 16th, which is Wednesday. And then the 18th, which is Friday, right? So on the SPY itself, we've got massive number of contracts. Remember, market makers, guys, if those of you that have been trading a while, if you go back and you look at Google as an example, okay, and you look at an option, let's look at the 18th options, okay, 1072 and a half, 1075, 1077 and a half, 1080. All right, can anybody tell me what the increment used to be on stocks that were above 200? What did the increment? The increment is the difference between two strike prices. In other words, if you had 1080, what would the next strike price be? Up or down? Right. So Darlo, Robert, Trip. And I guess it all depends where you're coming from when you first started. Excuse me. Oof. Excuse me. It used to be $10. You had 1,000, 1,010, 1,020, 1,030. That was the closest strike. Then they moved to $5. Now they're at $2.50. Sometimes you'll see $1.50 in there if there's certain things going on. Sometimes in the front weekly options around earnings. But what it comes down to is the market maker saying, okay, we had the 1,000 and 1,010 in there. That was the closest strike because they did not want to dilute the number of contracts that were in an option being traded because they gave you too many choices. And now today you look on companies and goodness gracious, you go to Apple. Okay. You got $1 increments on Apple. $1. And again, I've seen it on earnings time when Apple goes to 50 cents at times, right? And there are many others that are at 50 cents now, but it used to be $10 on those big price stocks. Today it's $2.50. And the reason I'm bringing that up is it's all about keeping it liquid, So when I look at, we go back to SPY. Come on, baby. Okay. When I look at SPY and we go to the front week for SPY, and I see this option has 10,000 volume, 2,500 open interest. Right here I have 39,000 volume, almost 40,000 volume with 8,000 open interest, right? So there's, no matter which one, there's liquidity in all of them. But you definitely, with volume, get to see where the average person or where traders are focused on as far as strike price goes. That doesn't make it right. It's just you get to see where the most money is flowing into. Right, William, if earnings are close enough and it doesn't fall into the parameters of what we're looking for, then as far as should we trade this or not, then we would day trade it only. Exactly. But we've got so many companies right now that are in that space anyway, and I don't mean earnings, I just mean neutral. Just messed up. I mean, here, I'll give you an example. Yesterday, on power option plays, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 stocks listed as day trade. 4 stocks had earnings on them. So 14 of the 20 stocks were already taken up with that. Right? This week, no, let me see. Last week, we had 1 bullish, 2 bullish, 3 bullish candidates last week, right? This week we have 1, 2, 3, 4 candidates that are bullish this week, okay? We've got a tremendous amount of day trades going on. Last week we had a lot more managed trades. This week we have none at all. We've closed out of every trade this year so far. We're done because they're all day trades. The only 2 that were not day trades, we got stopped out of both of them. One, we had no contracts closed out on at all, so it cost us money. The other one, we already had taken the first 2 off, so we're good. We made a little bit on that one. But guys, right now, we've got bearish, neutral, bullish. There are 5 biases altogether. The only one we don't have is bearish, is a bullish, neutral right now. We've got a gamut of bias right now, which tells me that there's not a good, clear direction. When I can look at my power options plays list and I see not day trades as the primary, but I see 7, 8, 10, 12, 15 bullish or bearish trades, or a combination of bullish and bullish neutral, or bearish and bearish neutral. You know, I get something above 12 or so candidates, I've got strong direction in the market, a strong bias. We ain't had that in a while. We're all over the frickin' place when it comes to this right now. We can't seem to get our sea legs under us of direction of where we think we're going to go or not. What do you mean by that, Marcus? The earnings stipulation. I look for stocks that are at least 20 days out for earnings before I would take a directional trade. Let me know if that's something different than that. Right, so 20 days out, if the earnings were less than 20 days, we are going to do a day trade on it. So Netflix has earnings coming up within the next 20 days, so we're only day trading it, as an example. Does that make sense, Marcus? I understand, William. Trading you, we talk 30 days, and there's a safety factor in there. There's a safety factor in there. With power option plays, we're talking about a specific trading system, right? So power option plays, we get into a 20-day earnings factor, because in power options plays, William, most of our trades are exited by the 3rd week. By the 21st day since entering the trade, most trades are completely out of. And if we're not, we've already taken out 2 or 3 of the exits, and we're looking for the home runs to take place at that point. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so let me do this. Let me open this up for a second. So I finally figured out what that problem was with that spreadsheet opening up the way that it did, with that error. So I fixed that on the 2019 sheet. So guys, we finished the year up $1,332,897, which gave us $132,897 above our goal, right? That's why it says negative in there. All right. Let me see. Where is the other one? Okay, good. So I'm not going to show the actual trades themselves. We have no open trades right now is what this is showing us. This is 2019. No open trades right now, but we're up $56,082 right now. That's why you need to be in power option plays. Brendan, we're not going to give the codes here. Everybody who's entitled to the Trade Navigator update will get an email. All right. So overall, guys, I think we did about 6 trades over the last week. We're up about $56,000. Not about $56,082. This is 2019, Deborah. Yes. This is 2019. Yep. 2019. And so far, I think we needed just about 85 or $90,000 to be able to do the trades. I think that's what the number was. Roman said, the day trade that you explained yesterday on Amazon in Pop opened my eyes on the next level. Thank you. Good. So Amazon showed us a day trade. All right, let me just move this out of the way. Amazon right now took a gap up. 1572, it gapped up to 1602, and it's at 1625 right now. So, and I have not looked at the setup on it, right? I'm not going to really go into it here. We'll talk about this type of stuff more tomorrow in Mastering the Trade. Guys, that Mastering the Trade workshop is geared to help everybody that is in Power Options plays. Number one, give you a chance to ask questions live about what's going on, what we do. And B, two, whatever you want to call it. Secondly, to be able to walk through the scenarios and show you some techniques of why we do certain things the way that we do, because conditions in the markets change. You know, I said this week when I was away. I was in New Jersey. I don't know if he was here. I didn't look through the list yet, but I got to hang out with Rick. Some of you met Rick before, know who he is. I got to hang out with Rick on Friday night. He and I went out for dinner. And hold on a second, guys. What's going on? Something just flashed on my screens. Yeah, New Jersey is another world. Yeah. New Jersey is another world. All right, hold on. Let me just see what in the world just happened here. That my screen just flicked on me. And I lost part of what I'm showing for GoToWebinar on my side. How about that? Doesn't mean you can't see it on my side. All right, don't know. All right, anyway. Yeah, the IRS is after me. They're coming after me on the computer now. Exactly, William. So you're talking, Roman, you're talking about the Amazon trade we did on Friday last week. All right, they're all closed. You know what? We're all friends here, right? Guys, here we go. These two trades were open already from the previous week. These three were day trades that we took this week that met every condition that need to be. Right? And for this week, we're up at $56,000. So we start Amazon off this week at $20,000 profit, booking $27,000, and Tesla at $8,900. We made a little bit on Baba. We gave a little bit back on Facebook. What we made on Baba, it cost us more than that on Facebook. So we're underwater on those positions there, right? So that's what Roman was talking about or referencing there. Because, guys, I went into the details behind the component of the trade in the update and showed this is how you do it. This is why we did it. This is what would prevent you from doing it. Here's the key components to it. That's why you join Power Option Plays. And, guys, you got a 2-week trial that if you haven't taken it before, that comes along with Power Option Plays. All right, Linda, I appreciate it. Yep, we'll see you tonight in E-mini. Absolutely. Yeah, Trip, we probably should do some of that, right? Trip's like, hey, can we talk some candidates here? So guys, let me do this real quick, right? Let me log in. Since my system doesn't save any login details. All right. So guys, one of the things I will tell you is you're going to see very shortly a pop-up on here that we'll talk about a comparison of our trading tools. And we're building a page out right now that you'll be able to go to that page, and there's a video up there of, did we ever put it in the TV page, Amelia? There is not. There'll be a video up here. It'll be right on the top, probably push futures trading and all of these down. And it will be a comparison video of the various tools of Trading You, of E-mini Think Tank, of Power Option Plays, of Covered Call Explorer, of everything we do, Monster Market Movers, all 5 of the major tools will be listed there. All right. So you'll be able to go through and watch that video to help you understand a little bit more about the tools. And there's a kind of a, not a checklist, but a list of questions that says, if you are a person that trades like this, is this tool good for you? And there'll be a yes or no answer to each one of those questions for every tool. Very few of them are good for everybody, right? Meaning they fit across the board, but there are some. If I reverse my sell numbers in the formula, it would show a positive for the year instead of a negative. Oh, you're talking about, oh, no, but I meant that for that, Jim. I meant it to show how much we were ahead of the game, I guess, because originally that field was how much did we need to get there, right? How much were we trying to catch up? But that field, if you look at the newer spreadsheet, the 2019, we go back here, that field is gone. That's only, I only put that in the end of the year, but I appreciate what you're saying. I'll keep that in mind for next year. I use that to show how close we are to hitting our goal. But thank you for that. You're right. That's a good point. All right. So Tripp's asking for MU, NVIDIA, and IBM. So look, it's been so long, Tripp, we don't even have the fibs in place. Neutral bias right now. Let it pick direction before we get there. Itty bitty machine. Same thing. Earnings coming up. Be cautious on the earnings. But we're in a day trade pattern right now. NVIDIA. All right, so NVIDIA is in a bearish neutral bias right now. Get back under that 130 level. And we're looking at 116 and 102. Let's see. It's 200. And we need a 100 now. Okay. Yeah, Tripp, good point. We need a new fib on NVIDIA. So we're going to back this up. All right, not yet. Let's see. We got to get rid of the fibit that's in here first. So down below that 133 level, which there's pretty much a confluence now with the ADMA just about there as it is, or will be as the market backs off, we'll be pretty close to that 133 half level. So let's see, 109, 133. We're looking at 17. Since we need a fibit in here, 33, 53, 20. Yeah, we need both fibits in there. So we need a 118 and a negative 136. So we're pretty, now look at how powerful that just became, Tripp, with that fibit in there and the moving average confluence. Good catch there, William, on that. William's asking for wing. Who is this? Wingstop. Okay. Overall pattern, we got just this bearish pattern taking place in there, right? Just want to have no extensions on these three for now. Just want to clean up a little bit what we're looking at right now. Okay. Tough to try to put a fib in there outside of here. Well, that's good. It's a good fib there, right? So we definitely switched over to bullish. I don't know if that was earnings that caused that. January 29th. No, it shouldn't be earnings yet, but earnings should be coming up right around the corner pretty soon. right? I'd like to see the 8 get above the 55 and the price to pull back to the 8. Yeah, box of neutrality, exactly. Just that ugly sideways-ish that was going on there. No, Marcus, I don't normally look at that. The bias is all based on the moving averages. I do a whole training inside of Power Option Plays. It's one of the bonus materials on bias. Actually, in the Mastering the Trade, not the Mastering Trade, in Rob's Secret Sauce video, which is part of the Power Option Plays, in there we go in depth into the 5 biases: bullish, bullish neutral, neutral, bearish, and bearish neutral. We go on those 5, but they're based on moving averages. DMI barely comes into the play for me. What about NFL playoffs on Wingstop? Sports fans going out to catch the games equals more sales of wings. Yeah, and that gets more of that seasonal or seasonality type for a company. Since I'm not a wing person, the last thing I think of is going out to get wings. But but yes, Robert, that's a good point. And I don't know what the news was that drove it up, since I don't normally track or trade anything on Wingstop. But something definitely pushed it up there, and I don't think it was earnings. Now, it could very well have been an announcement on, poor chickens. Exactly. Could have very much been an announcement on, with the NFL and something going there. I don't know. Darlo, speaking of poor chickens, if you guys, I watched a video on this vacation on YouTube that popped up in my feed, and it was Hope, H-O-P-E, H period O period P period E period, right? And it was basically hope you know what's in your food. And when I watched it, guys, it's been very difficult for me to go back and eat, because I don't eat any red meat. I eat chicken, turkey, things like that. It's been hard for me to go back and even eat chicken after watching that movie. So don't watch it. Don't watch it. If you like meat, don't watch it. It would be really bad for you. Really bad for you. Yeah. Darl, I'm a farmer. Okay. Are you really, Darl? Okay. What kind of farmer? Movie is called Hope, H-O-P-E. And it's on YouTube. Just like that, H-O-P-E. Corn, soy, and beef. Okay. But Darlo, is your beef raised in a confinement, or is it open range, or what is it? I remember that, Helen. That's why I'm vegan. Yeah. The beef roam the pasture, Judith said, because they have a farm as well. Yeah, and listen, guys, listen, we need what's going on with food right now. We need enough food to support everybody, right? So, Darlo, open range, no antibiotics. What they were referring to is how they confine them, and how 20% of those animals don't live. They never go to slaughter because they die before getting there, right? So I'm not opposed. Let me say it this way. I have my own opinions. I think the people that run Monsanto need to burn on a stake and be in an eternal flame in hell for what they've done. All right. And they are the cause of some of this crap. See, now I'm getting on a really bad way. Let's breathe. Let's stop. I'm gonna stop right there. I'm gonna stop right there. There you go, Robert. We're all farmers. We want green cash. People of Monsanto. Yeah, Marcus. What they do to farmers and the threats, and how it's illegal to do anything to prevent them from delivering, or you protest the wrong way, you're going to jail for stopping the production of food. I mean, it's a federal offense. LMT. Someone had asked for Qs. Who was it? Brenda had asked for QQQ. So we need a new fib on Qs here, Brenda. So we're going to draw that puppy right in here, right down to the dividend day. Right, we're at the 618 right now. We got above the 21. We want to see if we get that rollover to that downside there. That 618, that 158.38 is a key level. Yeah, I think you were asking if it was on HBO, Karen. It's just on YouTube. It's a free video that's out there. I figured as much, Rosemary. Yeah, and guys, again, if you like Monsanto, they make you money. That's great. I'm not, listen, you do what works best for you, right? I just know that if you look at just all I want you guys to do is go and research autism and go look at the autism rates in the last 100 years and tell me when you see how many people have it upon birth these days compared to what used to, and try to come up with a correlation of what it is, you'll be shocked at what it comes out to be. Okay, so LMT, right? Can I draw fibs on LMT? Sure, William. Let's do that. So LMT is going to be very similar to what we just did on the Qs. You're going to have it right in here. Make sure you have at least a $1 move between the 50 and the 618. We've got about $7, so we're good there, right? We're sitting down below the, above the 8, below the 21, and the 21 is a confluence with the 50 percentile. That's the H we're looking for in there. Yeah, Pete, I normally go back about 6 months, 8 months. I use an F5. That's a function 5 right there. So I'm going back from, July until today is what we're seeing. That's normally where I start. Yeah, Robert, a lot more stuff happening to people than when we were kids. Go ahead. Yeah, just somebody had a bottle of Coca-Cola and everybody drank from it, right? Today it's like, no, don't you drink out of my bottle. There's no way. Not interested. Let's see, RTN. And I'm going to need to jet in a moment, guys, because I am late for an appointment. So keep your eye on the earnings. Not quite up as high. We're looking for the move up above the 50, but same concept, Trip, yes. Same concept. LMT. I'm assuming you were talking about on this one, William. Why not start up here? And that's because we had a new V bottom in there already. And then it led itself to a new V top. That was why. You're welcome. All right, Joan, last one. Netflix. Now, Netflix has the earnings coming up. Check the date, confirm it, but it shows on January 17th, right? Netflix has moved into a purely bullish bias, right? Great gap today, good strong run today, up $18, right? And I think they're realizing that no matter how bad the market gets, no matter how bad the economy gets, people are going to keep their Netflix. They're not going to go to the movies. They're going to buy Fire Sticks and hack them, and they're going to use that instead. Or they're going to go and figure out how to hack into, other ways of watching the movies. But people are not going to give up on things that are as inexpensive as their Fire Stick, as an example, or as their Netflix, or as their Hulu, and things like that. Right? Netflix itself, good gap up there, guys. It's pure day trade at this point. This is way too close for directional trade. Look for every pullback you can intraday. Mark the 312.77, and that would have been a pullback on that. So 312.77, 312.77, right? So there it was. Bumped our head. We broke out. Big breakout. As usual, guys, you get the break. What happens? You get a big candle, right? Big breakout right there. No pullback to the support line, but we did get a pullback to the moving average. So if you're looking for a potential trade, now that pullback there took place at 12:10. Caution with it being lunchtime, right? So we're looking as the market picks up again, do we get some legs from there? Then you go back to the daily chart and figure out where resistance is. I've got resistance at 326. Do I want to fib it? Do I have a pivot point that sets up in there somewhere? Right? There's 100 different ways from Sunday that you could look at this. Right? Guys, here's a great example on ADX. 27 is the ADX. DMI minus is 16. DMI plus is 33. ADX says it's enough momentum to take a directional trade. DMI plus says only take a bullish trade. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, as we wrap it up, get yourself into power option plays tonight, guys. Go ahead and I don't even know where I put the page for the como se llama for this thing here. So we go into Trader Talk. We go into power options trades. I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to drop it into your chat box. Right? Guys, there's a 2-week trial with power option plays. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. Come into class this Thursday night, this Wednesday night. Tuesday night, tomorrow. My bad. Tomorrow night. Yep. Wednesday is next week at Monster Market Movers. Pop is like power hour twice a week. Yeah, there you go, William. A lot more depth, though. Possibly, William. Robert, I might be in Chicago for that. That's what I'm not sure of yet. Good, Darlo. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. You have a wonderful and glorious day. God bless. Welcome to the new year, baby. I'm excited for it. Hey, how can it not be? $56,000? I'll take it. I just want it every week like that now. Making money, honey. All right, have a great year or a great day. Good start to the new year. And I will see you guys at our next update. Talk to you soon. Bye.